Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Inkkery podcast. All the cards for set 11 Winterspell have now been revealed. So in today's episode, James and I are ranking the legendaries of the set, and we're talking about all of the super rares too. So it could end up being a longer podcast today, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. So James, how are you, mate? And have you enjoyed the reveal season so far?
Yes, I enjoyed making my reveal. Did you enjoy making your reveal? Because that's the first one that you've ever done.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm really happy with how it went as well. Yeah, I'm super happy.
You managed to put like a charity in there. Like that's some
Yeah.
extra bonus points.
Yeah. And I got a
That's
good
really
card,
good.
which always helps. I was like, your reveal was really good, but obviously, like, it's kind of difficult to make a awesome one with such an underwhelming card. I don't want to dish your card or anything, but yeah, no, you and Jen did a really good job. It's just a
Oh,
shame
thank you.
that what's your card called again?
It's swordplay. It's Black
Swordplay.
Cauldron.
That was it. Yeah.
The thing is though, like I've said to the reps that you can just give us anything. Like just give us anything. We'll try really hard. We might get to the point where we might like go too far with it, and so it's pretty good. But then I kind of said to Jen, I was like, maybe we just go so far to the point where our card reveal might get so much like tension, and everyone's like, oh, what's there going to be like now? And then it's just like, yeah, here it is. Just like here's the card reveal, and like zero effort. But we actually spend like a day doing it. We spend like a week like going on dog walks and thinking and talking about how we could play with the idea.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was our most fun, and probably our most ridiculous one. But yeah,
Cool.
your card got an enchanted reveal before you did, before you got the card revealed.
That was a bit of a shame, but I'm also like just a huge fan of the game and like Disney in general and Winnie the Pooh and the characters. Like I was so happy to see the Eeyore Enchanted that it kind of like distracted me slightly from the fact that my card reveal got a little bit spoiled, but it didn't really matter. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's
But
move on.
I will say it's kind of difficult to focus on set championships where like all this information, all these cards are getting revealed halfway through a set championships where for a lot of people that's their bread and butter. Like that is all they do. They don't go to the big events. They don't go across the country. They just go to the set championships in their local area. And if you can hear my dog whining, I'm sorry, he's playing with his ball. And so that's something I find quite frustrating, but I think it's just like they're probably trying to put things in the right places to make things move right. Yeah, it's a little frustration. It's not too bad. It's just difficult for content creators like us where we want to make deck profiles and it's all about set championships, and then you're producing games or profiles, but then in a couple of weeks those decks are going to completely change. And the stuff that you make can become really irrelevant when you have 200 new cards come into the game, and people won't want to watch that kind of content, which is that's frustrating. But I hope one day they kind of separate them.
There's always going to be a buffer period though between sets where like interest in the current set drops because of the anticipation for the next. So that's always going to happen no matter where you kind of place things. But I suppose it's trying to keep.
But this is the only TCG that does this. So if you were to play Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, if a new set's coming out, it means that new like deck cores are coming out, and people are really interested in how it plays. But some people will be interested in old decks and still watch those videos playing against other sort of matchups. So it doesn't change people's like where people's eyes go. And that's the only thing that Lorcana is the only game that does that, where instead of like we've spoken about this loads of times, instead of IPs getting boosts, it's like good colors cards for this color, can you put them in, kind of thing. But this Winterspell stuff, there's some cool things that are boosting certain colors or play styles, which is what we want to talk about, which is cool. Yeah, a couple of legendaries are cool. Right, so we're gonna do our tier list for our legendaries, and we're gonna go 1 of each color each. I guess have our little talking points, and then maybe counter one another.
Yeah.
And let's do that. So I'm going to start off with the card that I think is really cool and kind of brings back Rapunzel vibes, and that's the Ohana, if that's how you pronounce it, means family. Inkable action, 3 cost. It's weird seeing an action or like anything that's not a character legendary. Remove all damage from chosen character of yours. Draw a card for each 1 damage removed this way. Thoughts?
You want my thoughts? I thought you were going to place it.
Right, it is between S and A for me because I like the fact that it could potentially draw lots of cards because you could crash some of your things into your opponent. A lot of the characters at the moment have quite high willpower, so it can sustain some big hits, and you could be drawing 3 or 4 cards of this card. The reason why it's kind of not as good as Rapunzel is because it doesn't become a body that quests for 2 and has 1/5 stat lines itself. So it's just an action. However, you know, a lot of these cards that are coming out, lots of people go, oh, this works with Maui Shark, and so this one does really, really well, especially when you can, get it back from discard. But I'm gonna go A because it's an action.
Okay, I think that's fair. I like your points about Maui as well. I do think that it may seem like a bit of a pipe dream healing Maui with this, bringing it back with Maui, but that actually could be a thing. And I think what makes this card, I think you're right to put it in A. I think what makes this card an A is its threat. And it's very much like what Rapunzel used to do, the threat of Rapunzel. Rapunzel actually ended up being quite, not bad, but so predictable and too easy to play around. But the threat of her was always there, and that's what made her good, because people knew Rapunzel's about to be played. I can't exert this character quest, can't sing, can't do any
Yeah.
of that because of Rapunzel. And Ohana means family is the same. It's the threat of it that makes it good, because the potential is that you draw 3, 4, some maybe even more cards. There are certain bodyguards in the game with extreme willpower. The first one that comes to mind would be something like a Thunderbolt with 7 willpower. That if you can crash into something and draw, 5 or 6 cards potentially. So it's
Yeah.
the threat of this and the absolute ceiling of it that makes it good. So I like A for it. I think that's a really good really good spot.
It's a low costing card as well, and we've got 1-drop Mulan, and I think one of the other Mulan cards that's a 2-drop that comes in with a few damage.
Yeah,
So like on turn,
quest for 2 as well.
on turn 3, you drawing 2 cards might be really, really strong in a red yellow deck that doesn't notoriously draw many cards. And like what I like about the Mulan is you could make the shift Mulan, the elite archer, put some more damage on it after potentially board wiping, and then playing the Ohana to draw more than 2 cards would be great afterwards. And the thing that I'm a little bit upset about this set was I'm not even gonna say that I'm not upset. I just wish healing was a thing. I know I'm just gonna go over to the side a little bit with the blue cards in this set. It felt like most blue cards ramped. From common to legendary, most blue cards ramped, whereas I wanted yellow to have more, just be a little bit more 4D when it came to healing, doing cool things, healing to exert, healing to bounce. I know there are other color moves and like skills, but healing to draw is cool. I would love to see I'd love to see like yellow amber decks having healing to do so other things. And there's obviously a Ruben card that's coming out that heals and makes the cost 1 less, which is cool, and that'd be cool to play on with that. But yeah.
Cool. Do you mind if I move on to the next legendary, Pocahontas?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm just going to bring her up quickly. Although it's been revealed for quite a while now, so most people know all about this card already. But if you don't, she's a 5-cost Inkable 3/6 Princess, which can be quite important. Floodborn as well. You can shift her for 3 ink. Quest for 2, and when you play this character, if you use shift, none of your characters challenge this turn. Characters can't challenge until the start of your next turn. And you were quite high on this card when we first saw it, weren't you? Because
No.
well, for
No.
were you not?
No, I went tramp deck's cool, but then, it has to be shifted. It has to be shifted.
Yes, we were waiting to see what shift targets would come out last time we spoke
That
about
that
this.
was the thing. We were like one
And
drop.
we've seen them now.
Yes.
We've got a 3-cost Inkable Amber shift target that gives +1 lore to one of your characters when you play it. And we've got the 2-cost Uninkable Amethyst. So actually only one. You can obviously count the Amethyst one, but I think you need to focus more on the only one Amber shift target, which really does bottleneck this card and makes it so the shift is unreliable, and it's a card where you have to shift it to make it be good in any way. And for that reason, am I about to put this in C?
Oh.
I think the ability is really strong.
The thing that I
don't
like
think
about
anyone can deny that.
I know the thing is Pocahontas, the 3-drop one. That extra lore could be really cute on a dog in an aggro deck, right?
Yeah.
And she's got 2/5 stat line, so
Good
she's got good stats. She has those kind of stats to like maybe onto like you be able to maybe crash in Ohana to draw and stuff like that. But I think C is harsh.
Okay.
But I don't think.
I probably agree. I was on the fence and C. Maybe like the lower end of B.
Yeah, I don't
the
think it's as good
ability
as
is
we
great,
think it is.
But I
It
just
says shift.
think
It just says shift. If it was on play, that's a legendary card, and I'm happy with that. But the shift thing kind of and not having like a 1-drop kind of ruins this.
Yeah, I'm putting it in B for now. Maybe we'll come back to that.
The
at a
iconic
later
is an
point.
A.
Yeah, just for the art. Yeah, cool. Right. Do you want to take Anna or Tinkerbell?
Oh, I'm a massive Tinkerbell hater right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I'll take Tinkerbell.
sure.
So 3-drop, 3/3 stat lines, quest for 1. While you have 4 or more cards in your hand, she gains evasive, and while you have 7 or more cards in your hand, this character gains +3 lore. I was surprised when I think we saw the promos first, and I just went, right, this is a super rare or a rare card. The fact that it's become a legendary, I was like, right, I'm definitely packing this card in my box. I'm like, no. It's very underwhelming. It requires a lot of cards in hand, where most games and most decks, you rarely have a big hand size unless you are playing against Emerald Sapphire, and unless or you are playing as Emerald Sapphire. Because Blurple, since taking like Finders Keepers out of their deck and Second Star, they don't go too heavy on card draw. So
They never had 7 anyway. 7's crazy.
Yeah. And then so we've just got this standalone purple card that I don't know if I've seen any. I don't think I've seen any synergy of this working with another, like a Peter Pan card that makes you draw loads of cards. So the card would be better if there was synergy there. It's just like they think it's like a good purple card. Here you go, it's Tinkerbell. And then the thing that makes me want to rank it lower is the fact that Lilo Rockstar's come out and it hasn't got the promo. I want to put Tinkerbell in D.
D.
Get down.
Yeah, we don't have a D. We can make a D. I've
got a D on mine. You gave me a D. Yeah.
I've got D. I've only got C. But yeah, I'm happy with D. I do actually think, but obviously we'll get onto this because we're going to do all of the legendaries. But I do think that Tink's the worst.
Yep.
I think
Was
that's
it
safe,
when you
safe to
play
say as
her,
well.
she's evasive, but if she was questing for 2 off the bat, maybe. And then her
Yeah,
evasive can
if you
go.
play her on curve, she's evasive.
Her evasive goes offline when you're
Yeah.
like wanting to do Dumbo stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bad card. It does have some infinity uses. I will say that in
But the
like
thing is,
Jafar
if
Wheel, whole new world
yeah,
decks.
yeah, I think it's just such a slippery slope to go. This is so good in Infinity because
Yeah.
for me it's incredibly overwhelming to think about that with all these cards, and I don't know how much Infinity I'm going to play. I think obviously when Dortmund comes around, I'll like laser focus on it. But ever since rotation, I haven't thought about it whatsoever because it's just a different game. It's a separate game. I think core constructed is the bread and butter of Lorcana at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
bad
I'm
card.
gonna move on to Arna.
Yeah.
Arna is another card that's been revealed for quite a while now, so we know all about her. She's a 5-cost inkable 5/5. That if a card has left a player's discard this turn, you can shift her for 0. And she has the ability, whenever this character quests, you may gain lore equal to the lore of a character card in your discard. If you do, put that card on the bottom of your deck. So, since this card was revealed, we had the 2-cost Amethyst Arna revealed, which obviously has direct synergy with this because you can play that Arna and
Shift straight away.
I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, you can shift her straight away. Basically, what does she do? The 2 costs, do you know? Do you remember?
When you play this character, you may put a card from chosen player's discard at the bottom of your deck.
Perfect. Yeah, so that card moves from a player's discard, and you can shift this Arna. Now,
And
what
so
I
does
will
and
say,
so does Christoph. So Christoph says if you have a
yes.
character named Arna in play, you may put the card from chosen player's discard at the bottom of the deck, and once during a turn, whenever a card leaves your discard, draw a card. So that's I like that card.
Yeah, I like that. It's good synergy. Good synergy. That's what we like, isn't it?
Exactly.
But yeah, what I was going to say is you can, like we said, play this on turn 2. When you do that, you need to get value from Arna somehow. So you need to be questing for a good amount of lore, which you're not going to be able to do so early in the game because there's not going to be something in your discard with a decent amount of lore. There could be potentially because there's the raccoon that discards something on turn 1. What does that do? Is it his name? Miko? Miko discards something at the end of your turn. He quests for 2.
Yeah. I think it hurts you, doesn't it?
Yeah, you discard a card, but there's synergy there. That you could put that in a Circle of Life deck or a Horned King deck or something that's moving things from the discard, getting value somehow.
Yeah, I like the Horn King stuff. Horned King stuff.
But why I like this card is obviously when you play her so early, you can sing things with her. You can sing Colors of the Winds to get a little bit of card draw.
Do you want to build a snowman?
You could sing Do You Want to Build a Snowman? I mean, most of the time, I think the players probably, especially so early in the game, they're not going to give you the free lore and probably just say
But
no.
the reason why I like no is if you're playing against a steel deck that like early game relies on strength, then that's really cool because you're keeping them off the Sing 3 with Snowman if they say no. So I like that. But I think early you give them 3 lore. That's how I see it.
Really? Even if it's like a 1-drop?
If you're playing steel, then yeah, like you wanna get your bodies on the board.
That's fair. Okay, well, I do like this Arna. I don't think she's crazy good or anything like that, but I personally think she is better than Pocahontas.
I think she's cute. I think there's what's good about this card. Pocahontas just puts you in a narrow path of what you can do with Pocahontas. Arna has so many tools around it, and there's so many cards that have come out that they're going to come out that move in discard that makes Arna look like something a content creator would like to do, where they make lots of different decks, and Arna would be like, right, let's see if I can find the best Arna deck. And I think that makes her better than some of these on your tier list.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to Emerald, I'm going to have to ask you to take Donald because I really want to talk about Todd.
That's crazy because I love Donald. Like I think so. Donald's a 4-drop, 4/4, quest for 1. Whenever you boost a ability of your, whenever you use the boost ability of a character, you may put the top card of your deck under them face down. During your opponent's turn, whenever one of your characters is banished, you may draw a card for everything that was under them, for each one. Which I think this is what the game needs to carry on doing. Like, do not get rid of boosts next sec. Just keep adding boosty stuff, because when I'm reading this and I'm thinking of green, I'm thinking of Flynn Rider, 1-drop. And then sometimes when you think, why would I want multiple boosts Flynn Rider? Because it only serves a purpose once, right? And so, you know, questing for 2 with Flynn Rider, your opponent wants to get rid of Flynn Rider, especially in green decks where you have access to bounce. So then if they do get rid of Flynn Rider, you can draw some good amount of cards. And, you know, green purple's good. Cheshire Cat's really, really good. So the synergy with green purple.
The new Genie as well.
The new Genie. I really, really like this card. I don't like the fact that it's holding Christmas wreaths in February. That's the only issue I have. But the fact is, this could be one of those really good boost cards, boost tools that makes Emerald just be a boost deck. You've got Goofy that discards when it's banished, based on how many boosts cards underneath him. I really like it. Good.
Cool.
Where am I going to put him? The issue is, like, S tier is like the best, right? And A tier, I think could be. I
think we'll reserve.
I'm gonna put Donald in A.
Okay, better than Ohana Means Family.
What's that? Better than Ohana?
Yeah.
You know what? I just love characters doing things. I just love them being on the board. And in a situation, Donald Duck would be way better when you're playing a boost deck. So, yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Do you not think No?
I'm happy to put it there. I'm not sure it's better than Ohana Means Family for me personally. But
I'll put it behind it. I don't care.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
We can come back to it maybe. We're gonna move on to Toddy.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to hear what you want to say about Todd Boy.
Okay, I love Todd Boy. Knows all the tricks. He's a 7-cost inkable 6/6 Floodborn who shifts for 5 and is evasive and quests for 2 and has the ability Impressive Leaps twice during your turn. Whenever this character is chosen for an action or item's ability, you may ready him. So, what makes this card so good is he has a 1-cost shift target, which is always good for Floodborns. He also has a fairly decent 4-cost inkable shift target. So both of his shift targets are inkable. And his ability is insane. And I honestly think this card is, am I going to say it's the best legendary?
Really?
I think it's the best legendary in the set. I do. I actually do. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you why I think this is the best legendary in the set. Green needed the help. And this, it works so well in what cards are already kind of like in that deck. So let me give you an example. Improvise, right?
Yeah.
And Improvise hitting Todd obviously gives him the +1 strength, that's fine, and draws a card. So you quest with Todd, Improvise him, which readies him. Maybe you challenge something, which exerts him again. And then you can hit him with one of your other characters. You can sing the new Education or Elimination. Or is it Elimination and Education? Which is a
the other way around.
Yeah, 4-cost song that gives something evasive +1 law. It would actually be better to do it the other way around.
Draw a card. Chosen character of yours gets +1 lore and gains evasive.
Mm-hmm.
Banish chosen damage character. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You can sequence things where Todd's questing for 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 lore in a single turn, or you can quest for 3 or quest for 2 and challenge something. I just think that the flexibility of him is endless, and the amount of cards that you can pair with him are unbelievable. Like, I was looking earlier at some items that you could choose Todd for, right? So there's medallion weights that gives him strength and draws a card when he challenges. So you quest, exert medallion weights, which readies Todd. Then you challenge, draw a card, and then you hit him with something else, ready him again. Honestly, I love this card, and I might be crazy to say that it's the best legendary.
Yeah, hyping me up, because I'm
hyping Todd up.
Even in like the top deck war, and you're trying to like clear a board, or you know you're trying to quest out, but your opponent's a little bit further ahead of you, and you top deck an improvise. Improvise draws you the card, and it might be you're welcome, but you're ready Todd, then you sing you're welcome and stuff like that to get rid of the card. Much.
Can I just give you a few more examples, because I wrote some down? So in Amethyst, we have Performance Review, which would draw you 2 cards and ready Todd. Hypnotic Strength draws a card, readies Todd. We've got in Sapphire, Ink Runner, give Todd, well, he's already evasive, but draws a card and readies him. One Last Hope in Steel, he's a hero. He can challenge ready characters after you ready him. I'm just in love with the flexibility of it alone, and it's perfect. They were talking on some Ravensburger devs were talking the other day about the ink identities, right? And the main identity of Emerald is meant to be flexibility, and there is no better example than Todd.
Yeah, Education and Elimination is brilliant.
Yeah, awesome card.
Force of the Great Typhoon, especially if you pair it up with something else, can make Todd just be a battle ram. With I've just found a list on there's a list on Dreamborn that pairs it up with Powerline.
Okay,
yeah, okay, yeah, you sold me.
It might not turn out to be the best,
but it's twice.
For me, it's twice. It's twice.
My brain just goes to, is it better than Clarabelle? And so, this is it's a really cool card. It's a really cool addition to Emerald, because I think Emerald have probably been lacking, haven't they?
One more thing.
S tier though.
Oh yeah, right. So after all of this explanation, you want to put him in A, right? I'm about to tell you why he goes in S.
Okay.
And that is Widow Tweed, which it'll come up on the screen right now, which is an amber card. So you have to pair this with amber, which isn't a problem at all. And when you play Widow Tweed, you can... Oh, gosh, I'm going to have to bring it up. But it's,
when you play his character, return a character card from your discard to your hand. Oh... If that character is named Todd, you may play him for free.
Yeah.
And it's on play as well, so it's not quest, so that's so much better.
Put it in a Circle of Life spine. You've got Bobby Zimmerowski, Tramp Street Smart Dog. You could even use Dale. Get Todd in the discard. And then another thing that I was thinking about, and people might have to correct me if I'm wrong on this in the comments, but if you have a Todd shift target on the board, then play Widow Tweed, you could bring the big Todd back and play it for free, like the card says, but you could also bring him back and shift him for free, and then you'd be able to quest challenge that turn by playing him on the shift target.
No, it's not dry when it gets shifted. So if you play a card that turn and shift,
no,
it's not dry.
The shift target is dry.
If it is dry, then yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I like it. I think Todd's great. I'm putting him in S.
You get to play Ohana in this list as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
It's fun,
I
right?
like that. I like that. Yeah. You got so excited and hyper, and you've
Did I?
convinced me with your energy.
Yeah. I think maybe I might be too excited for him, and I'm
But
sure people will knock me down in the comments and say that I'm crazy for liking this card so much. But
the thing is,
I
like,
think he's awesome.
I have noticed. I hope I'm wrong here, but like I just noticed how insane how Whispers was for some of the legendaries. So
Oh yeah, the legendaries in this set compared are
yeah,
much more modest.
yeah.
Um,
Right, what's
but
the next color? We've just done emerald.
is Ruby?
Right, Elsa. So, Ice Lady, 6-drop, 5/5, quest for 1, shift 4. Really cool art. When you play this character, and whenever you play a location, you may exert chosen character with 4 or 3 or less strength. So it's the strength. They're going for the strength. And then while this character is at the location, she gets +3 lore. This is what a legendary should kind of look like. It should have when play and then an additional effect afterwards. So the fact that when it comes down shifted, it can exert something, but then also when locations come down, you can exert things. So if you're playing a location heavy deck, playing locations to exert things probably doesn't matter whatsoever. It's pretty rubbish, maybe.
Depends on the location.
Depends on the location, because you've got the synergy with the Elsa Palace thingy bobby that locks a character, freezes a character. However, this set has offered a lot more location love. But the way I see it is a lot of these locations do things, whereas like we had McDuck Manor in the past just do nothing other than be big and scary. I just feel like a bit, yeah, cool, but
Yeah, there
I think
wasn't
this
a
might be a
location that
£5.
Sorry.
I think it's just a £5 legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is there hasn't been like a location that's made me think that Elsa's going to be worth it. Her abilities are so good, right? But I still don't want to put locations in my deck yet.
Well, it's trying to link up with the Frozen Vine, right? So when this location is banished, if there's an exerted character here, return this card from your discard to your hand. Yeah, I think the Graveyard of Christmas Future is really good.
Yeah.
When you move a character here, put the top card of your deck under this location. At the start of your turn, you may put all cards from this location into your hand, and if you do, banish this location. So that's cool. Unfortunately, locations are quite slow in a quick game, in a quick game. And I think because of what Sapphire can currently do now with its multiple resources of ramping, in previous sets, even before set rotation, locations could just go under these ramp and control decks. I just don't think they're quick enough now, if it makes sense. However, there are tools to play them for free. So if you can play locations free from Get to Safety, the new Elsa song, then that could cause issues. But we're getting new rush tools, so in the set, especially with Ruby.
Yeah, I don't know. Where do you want to place Elsa? Because I think she is a tricky one. It's a good card, but the things that she's good at aren't good. Does that make sense? There's a lot of good in there.
The way I see it is, and I think people are going to say I'm silly. Anna seems like she can be really fun to play with and make multiple cool decks with. Elsa, you put in your location deck, especially if it's Ruby. So I think Elsa will be a fun card to use. So I think I'm going to put Elsa in C. I think she's going to be behind Pocahontas because my reason being is all the other enchanters that we've listed, they can go in different decks.
Legendaries,
and they can, legendaries. Elsa is just so strict to locations. You can't do anything outside that.
Yeah.
So if you're not playing locations, you don't play Elsa. That's just That's what she's at.
Yeah,
That's what she's at.
that's a really good point. But still better than Tinkerbell. So moving on to the other Ruby is Wreck-It Ralph, who's a 7-cost uninkable 3/4 with boost 1 and 2 abilities powered up. This character gets 1 strength for each card under him. And who's coming with me? When this character's banished, banish all characters with strength equal to or less than the strength he had in play. And he quests for free. So effectively a board wipe Prince Philippi type thing that you can combo with other cards like Time to Go. So you could boost up the Wreck-It Ralph, play Time to Go, draw 3 cards, and wipe the board. Also Candy Drift, which draws a card plus 5 strength. So if Ralph had no cards under him, that's obviously 8 strength, and that banishes him at the end of the turn. So, I mean, that's wiping pretty much everything. There's not many things with more than 8 strength. So I think that's pretty good, but I think uninkable really lets him down. Ruby has a lot of uninkables already.
Not being a shift.
Yeah.
My issue with him is outside like Candy Drift, you kind of want to be putting damage on this card, and I think maybe if you're able to put damage on this card yourself with things like the Madame Medusa damage flinger card, where you put damage on him and then you bounce a card, that's cool. But my issue is I obviously looked at Gold Coin, which is an item that makes it ready again but can't quest.
Mm-hmm.
If you're readying Wreck-It Ralph after it's already challenged, to then like challenge again and for it to be banished, you're already kind of
you're doing the job.
Doing the job before the main effect. So that's the issue that I have. I think Candy Drift is really cute. I'm glad it's only a 2-drop card, but I'm trying to think red blue with this card.
We might be looking at
this is better tools.
All wrong though. Maybe Ralph isn't meant to be used as like the hammer to wipe a board. Maybe you play this card, boost him a couple times, he sticks, and then your opponent literally doesn't want to challenge him and he's just free to quest for free every turn.
That is good. I think a lot of the time we're trying to solve questions, right? Whereas this could be the question. So just like quest away, a couple of boosts, maybe in a red-green deck with that Donald, which is bonkers, I just realized, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Because if you can get rid of it,
is nice.
But like with the new Donald,
you draw.
You double boost as well, and then you draw.
Yeah, that is.
So
good.
You could potentially with a new Donald, you could potentially drawing 2 and board wiping.
That might be a little bit fairy tale because those colours, unless something changes. I suppose they did get a little bit of card draw, but yeah, red green. Historically, not the best combo.
Well, you've also got the card that says when you banish a character that turn, draw a card. So you could effectively, try and set up for Donald to sing that song, and then Wreck-It Ralph does a board wipe, and then you get to draw 2 cards, and then draw 2 cards from Wreck-It Ralph. That's 4 cards drawn, and your opponent's board's gone. That could be quite cute.
Yeah.
I think there's something there. And I think this is like in the same bracket as Ohana in terms of something that you could play with and make a deck with.
But a little bit
But
niche,
I still,
maybe.
because it's uninkable, it maybe just goes in C as well. But I like it more than Elsa. I don't know if you know this phrase, but I think locations are just monkey decks. And in Yu-Gi-Oh, it was like, the reason why it was called that is like you just like flipped over trap cards and stuff like that and just said no to your opponent, and there wasn't much going on there. I think Elsa has that, like that in lockdown, and I think Wreck-It Ralph people will get upset with this, but Wreck-It Ralph is more fun of a card, like, and you can mess around with it. So I'd put it above Elsa.
Okay, but C.
I think it's more fun than Pocahontas too, because Pocahontas just says no when it comes down shifted, and it's quite boring. Whereas Wreck-It Ralph has cool tools, especially with Donald. Yeah. I like Donald. Really like Donald.
So you wouldn't
Keep
be
talking about
tempted
Donald.
to put Ralph as a better card than Pocahontas? You just think he's more fun?
Look, if I don't think Wreck-It Ralph makes it into a meta deck going into a big event. I think Pocahontas might have that niche moment where someone's putting a couple in because they're playing the 2-drop in the purple deck, and then they just play it, quest out with all their characters, and then makes their opponent go, "Oh, GG's." So I could see Pocahontas, filling a spice gap in someone's deck list.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I like Ralph in C. I think it, like you said, is a really fun card. But yeah, just might.
He's way more fun than like previous Ralph legendaries.
Yeah.
Like I want to play with this card, and so a lot of legendaries are so underwhelming. You just don't even want to do anything. They go in your bulk, so he doesn't go in the bulk.
Okay, moving on to Sapphire. Do you want to take Scrooge or Moana?
I think she's gonna be really, really expensive. I think it'll be Moana tax, it'll be ramp tax, playing the additional, well, not the additional, but paying ink from discard tax. I don't think she's gonna be all that. She does solve the idea of not using your hand to ink, so keeping your hand, which I think is cool. And you can get her out really, really quickly. You just need to work out if getting her out turn 4, I think, right? Or turn 3. Wait. So if you go 1-drop, 2-drop sale, so on turn 3 you got 3. No, yeah, it'd be turn 4, right?
No, yeah, it's turn 4, fastest.
And then you're inking and drawing with Cinderella if you play Moana. I don't know. I think we're overhyping it. I think when we saw the fact that
I don't think it's overhyped. I think that
works well with
people
Ohana.
know that it's a bit mid.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit mid.
I think it's mid. I let's think about some decks that you might want to play a card like this. And obviously, you think of cards that struggle for card draw, that don't want to ink from their hand. So maybe like a red blue.
Yeah.
Or maybe Sapphire Steel,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
like a princess ramp. I think that has better follow-ups after a Cindy than Moana. I can't think why I would ever want to play Moana instead of Namari in that deck. So her ability is awesome, but yeah.
Amber, Sapphire,
Oh yeah.
princesses now. I think with Moana, I think if you pair her up with Tipo, Cindy, and Sail, then you're getting quite close to a Raging Storm situation.
Yep.
And having just Moana on board and playing Raging Storm with a decent hand or like Visions in hand, and then playing Raging Storm feels kind of good. Yeah, it can just speed up those high costing cards, the Hades and I don't know. I think I want to say this for Raging Storm, but yellow blue is obviously something I messed around with the detective build. But I think it can be in there to facilitate ramping and not using your hand. And yeah, I think it should be good for Raging Storm.
Where do you want to place her in terms of our tier list?
B.
B?
Yeah, I'm not. The thing is, like, you've convinced me of Todd. I want to play set of Todd. I want to play set of Ohana. Like, Ohana feels like it can go in lots of different decks and do different things. And you're drawing cards. It feels great, and healing as well. With Moana, it's like it just feels like a tool for Blurple, but Blurple do the things that they do well enough now without it. So, yeah, mid. And I prefer Anna. Like, Anna seems so much fun.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think? An A?
No, I don't think A at all. I think B's probably about right. I think she's probably better than Anna. And that's kind of just where she sits. It's like that the middle of our legendaries at the moment. I'm gonna move on to Scrooge, who is a 6-cost inkable 4/6 Floodborn, so you can shift him for 4. on another Scrooge McDuck. When you play this character, you may put a card from the top of your deck face down under each of your other characters. If you do, those those characters gain ward until the start of your next turn. So pretty cool that you can just put a card under all of your characters, and they obviously gain ward as well. So, for example, really puts, after the ward wears off, of course, puts off opponents from like maybe Hadesing them, or playing a Let It Go on your characters, because that would then double ink you. But the more obvious synergy is with boost cards, putting a card under all of your cards with boost. So ones that come to mind would be the new 5-cost Pete, which is a really good card, and probably the best target I can think of for Scrooge. Can you think of any others?
Ariel, maybe.
Oh, right,
Because
yeah,
obviously
Amber Ariel.
you play her earlier in the turn, so you could have a song ready to play without having to use the boost ink. Every time I think of boost, I think of like stuff like Flynn Rider, and I think of Simba. 'Cause I feel like obviously the starter
Yeah.
decks, they were like the face of boost, but like yeah, you instantly move damage with Cheshire Cat as well. And like my friend was playing recovered pages recently, and was able to, because it's not like once per turn to move the damage, it's once per turn to boost. So if you keep putting stuff underneath cards, they just trigger their effects multiple times. So cat could trigger a couple of times, which is cool.
Do you think this is one of those cards that you just kind of ignore the fact it's a Floodborn? Because there are obviously lots of Scrooge McDucks in the game.
Yeah,
But
it's blue. It's blue.
Yeah.
Because the thing with this card is it doesn't matter. A lot of shift characters need to like quest, don't they? Or they need to be shifted to play their ability, like Pocahontas. So usually when you shift something and you have to quest to get the full-on shift effect, the character's effect with Scrooge, and it's blue, and the ramp, 6 is nothing. Like 6 is nothing.
You just don't need to shift him.
Like I think it's pretty. I think he's really good because you're putting like a layer of protection on your cards. I also find it quite cool that it puts cards underneath just cards that don't have boost, which is very weird. And then you've got Madam Mim Elephant, you've got Mother Knows Best, and just more ways to just bounce more cards to hand, which is cool.
I was just thinking, I think that maybe the ink pairing for this Scrooge is maybe Ruby Sapphire, because you have a couple of new shift targets in Ruby, which I'll bring up on the screen now. These are pretty decent cards, I would say. And you have the Ruby Mickey, Brave Little Prince, that you could just play for free ink now. You don't have to shift him, and then use this Scrooge to put a card under that Mickey.
Quest for 4.
Get that. Quest for 4, yeah. Yeah. So that's not terrible.
No, I really like
it.
I really like him. I think those later turns you start playing. It forces the Hades to like hit Scrooge rather than something that's a better card. Okay, so Scrooge says other, so that means it can't ward itself. But yeah, it means when your opponent plays Hades, they might have to choose Scrooge over better targets like Maui Sharks and the Mickey Mouse. What I like about Scrooge is it protects Cheetah, which when I played the detective deck, Cheetah was so important, otherwise you lose. Because of because there's so many ways of inking and getting that second ink, she has to stay around, because you then can't, if she goes, you can't recover your hand after you've ramped. So finding ways to protect her in those Sapphire decks, it's pretty good.
Do you think Scrooge might have a place in Amber Sapphire then?
Yep. Yeah. Christoph, Whenever this character quests, if there's a card under him, put the top card of your deck into Inkwell face down. It's got some nice stats.
Not bad. I was just thinking of another one as well, which we'll get onto when we do super rares. But Bambi, putting a card under Bambi, is so good.
Yep. Yeah, I love that Amber now can be part of the meta.
Same.
Because it was
got some
kind of
really
just
good cards.
it's kind of just stuck to it's stuck to Amethyst now, right? And previously Steel, but now it feels like it can go in different decks. No, I really like that card. I maybe like low B. I think he's more because he's blue. I think he's better than the Season Ds. Because you can play him so quickly.
Than Ohana and Pocahontas.
You mean he's better than Pocahontas? I think he's better than Ohana, because Ward is a very, very, very strong ability. Because you've only got one way of getting around that. A couple of ways. It's malicious, mean, scary, and which you can like kind of defend well against it, and the Mona, like two, and there's only two ways in a purple and green colours. So yeah, on par with Anna. I think what's funny with this, you're probably gonna be playing Moanas and the Scrooge McDucks. So maybe they're just on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next to each other in the B tier.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, 2 more legendaries, both steel. We've got Angel and we've got Darkwing Duck.
I really like Darkwing Duck. The reason why I like Darkwing Duck is when I saw Thunderquack. So Darkwing Duck, let me just get you up. I've got Thunderquack up before Darkwing Duck. Where are you?
I'll get Thunderquack up as well. Is that the one that gives your opponents
everything's villain?
Villain tag. Yeah, that's cool.
So another kind of card that's similar to Anna or Wreck-It Ralph, where you can go, right, I'm going to mess around with this and try and make it viable. Incredible stats. So 7 inkable, shift 5, 6, 8 stats, quest for 2. During your turn, whenever an item is banished, you may pay 1 ink to deal 2 damage to chosen character. And this character can challenge ready villains. So Thunderquack makes everything villain, which is wicked, and it's an item. So whenever it's banished, you get to have the option to do more damage. This can pair really well with one of my card reveals, Robot Queen. So when you play her, whenever you play a character, you can pay an ink to banish her to deal 2 damage, and then when she's banished, you can then pay another ink to deal 2 more damage. So a cheeky little low-costing board wipe there, or spot removal. And then you've got like
board
shield.
Wipes a stretch.
Yeah, no, sorry. And then you got the shield of Arendelle. You can banish it to give something resist 1. So you can make Darkwing Duck quite buff.
Pretty cool, isn't he? He's got a great stat line as well. And some good shift targets.
Yeah, and you could play Jumbo Pop. Banish this item.
Pop do?
Banish this item, remove 2 damage from each of your characters, draw a card.
Oh.
And then Merlin's carpet bag is pretty good. And then yeah, you can play Tamato, Happy as a Clam, Scrooge McDuck. I would love to see people make an item build of this and do well. I think
cool.
you've got cool ways to ramp, you've got cool ways to draw with Goliath.
I was just looking at some other villains. There's quite a few villains that are quite frequent in the metagame. Demona, Hades, Ursula's. There's cards that, even without that item, this Darkwing Duck will just go through quite comfortably. Headless Horseman. It's not bad. I like him. Where would you place him in terms of our tier list, though? Because we've kind of... Quite a few of these are very niche legendaries, and you would have to say that Darkwing Duck is also one of those.
Yeah. C.
Yeah. C? Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Better than Wreck-It Ralph?
If He's inkable, but if there was an item build and items was part of the meta, then a little bit higher. But yeah, on
He's
par with
obviously
Wreck-It
he's a
Ralph.
detective as well. He goes in Sapphire Steel detectives quite nicely.
He is a detective.
Even without the item stuff, he just like he's got a 1 cost as well, which is just good to have in that deck. I think he's good. I would put him at the low end of B, I think.
Have you seen the blue smoke? You can play for free if you've got Darkwing Duck on the board. Banishes item, chosen character gains ward until the start of your next turn. But I just don't think you play that. But then you got the infra pink ultra scan specs. When you play this item, draw a card, then choose and discard a card, and then you can banish this item. Chosen character gains alert. So you can just play this, draw a card, discard, then banish it, give Darkwing Duck alert, and then you can, if you've got Crack Thunder there, you can just hit into anything that's evasive in a ready position. So I hope, like, when we're talking about IPs and stuff, I hope there's enough there. I need to do some more research into it, but it could be something. You got Launchpad. I think you may have said Launchpad, draw a card. But yeah, C.
See? Okay, that's fair. Right, next one and final legendary that we're going to talk about is Angel. So, Experiment 624, a 4-cost inkable 3/3 who has 2 abilities. Quest for 1, untouchable. While you have no cards in your hand, this character gains resist 2. And she has the ability Good Aim. Once during your turn, you may choose and discard a card to deal 2 damage to chosen character.
I think when I showed it to you, I was like, this is cool. And then you went, oh, I don't think so. And then I went, it quests for 1. We're getting to the point where we're trying to, draw cards in any colorway that we're trying to do. And then this kind of goes back to, well, we can give you some buffs or bonuses if you don't have cards in your hand. And for me, I don't think a resist +2 scares me on a 3/3 that quests for 1. And then you're losing cards from your hand to do 2 damage. So if this was questing for 3 and putting pressure on your opponent and having like no cards in your hand and have it being resist 2, that's really cool. But besides that, I think this is one of the worst ones as well.
Really?
I think she goes in D.
D. With Tink.
The thing is though,
I don't know. I think she does something.
2 damage used to be really good. But you can do 2 damage to your stuff. So you could just, with this card, pop the Olaf to bounce a card, draw a card. You could bounce Doc with this card if you've got nothing in hand as well. So, you could do 2 damage to your Olaf. Olaf goes, you pick up the Doc, and then you play the Doc because you've got no cards in hand because you've discarded your last card with the Angel. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if there's any other cards that are like that, putting damage on. Maybe with Angel you put 2 damage on something and then play Ohana and draw 2 cards.
Yeah, there's decks that do operate on a low hand size. And they obviously are steel decks. So Doc decks, anything that runs Goliath. Like this card paired with Goliath in my head isn't terrible. Because you draw your 2 cards at the end of your turn with Goliath, and let's say you've got Angel down on the board. Next turn, you play one of your big threats, and you don't necessarily need to ink that other card, but you want it out of your hand. Maybe maybe discarding it and dealing 2 damage to something isn't the worst idea.
No, yeah. The more I talk about it, the more we talk about it, the higher it starts overtaking like Elsa and Wreck-It Ralph and Darkwing Duck. So maybe it's top of C, maybe creeping into B, considering it's such a not about to say such a stable, but it's such a good tool for steal. Whereas it might not low end of B. I like the fact that it can play around with Olaf and bounce cards. I like the fact that it can potentially facilitate the Ohana draws. It could move damage. Yeah. Let's put it in B and wrap it up because we're taking so long and my camera's about to die again.
Okay, so there's our tier list. I actually, before we end, I think I might drop Todd down to A. I think putting him in S, I think might have got a little bit excited. I do really like this card though, but I think
S is Cinderella and Hades and Moana. That's an S. That's
Yeah,
the S equivalent,
spot on.
right?
That is
And
like
none of them are that.
yeah, that is Dumbo, Demona. Yeah, that's that kind of territory. He's not that, unfortunately. He's really cool. I'm sticking with A. Watch this card do amazing things this set. That's all. I'm gonna yeah. Cool. So we'll wrap it up there. We're not going to do the super rares today, out of fear that this episode might have been too long. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the super rares next week, episode 5.
So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below your favorite legendary. Tell us that we were correct or tell us that we're completely wrong. And which card you're most looking forward to. When I'm looking at these again, I think Donald Duck looks really fun, especially with the boost things. What's your favorite out of these at the moment? Oh yeah, it's Todd. It's Todd.
Yeah, come on. What kind of a question is that? Of course it's Todd.
It's Todd. So let us know what your favorite is, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.